So in this video, I'm going to talk about touring Panama, my experience with the Panama Relocation Tours. I'm not going to go over the entire tour, but kind of highlight some of the things that I found out on the tour. If you're thinking of going down to Panama to explore where you might want to live and retire, a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm going to go down, I'm going to rent a car, and then I'm going to take off and drive and explore. And I can say that I think with my experience going with this tour group, with the Panama Relocation Tour, that doing it on my own, I couldn't have done it. First of all, you're going to fly into Panama City and you're going to rent a car. And if you think you're going to drive in Panama and that's going to be a pleasant experience, I've got another thing coming for you. It's crazy. Stop signs are a suggestion. They don't stop. It was a hell of a time just trying to cross the street in Panama. I almost got run over a couple times. I don't get it. I've been to Mexico City. It's equally as bad. So going into Panama, renting a car and thinking you're going to just have a leisurely drive out into the country, forget it. You're taking your life into your hands. So the tour started picking us up in downtown Panama City, and we didn't really look at a lot of options for retiring in Panama City because it's pretty expensive. And most people that are looking to retire don't want to go to a huge, big city. So we did kind of get an explanation of Panama City as we were leaving the city and getting ready to head up the Pacific coast. We didn't head up the Atlantic coast because there's just not a lot of roads up there and not a lot of amenities. So we went up the Pacific coast. The other thing that I can tell you is that when you're on the tour, you get your own book, and this book has everything you need to know about moving to Panama. I mean, everything. So there were several times where we would ask Jackie a question and she would smile and go, and that's in the book. And she's not kidding. So you do get a map with a bunch of red dots to show you where you're going to go, and we followed that route. So it was a lot of fun. So one of the first places we went to going out of Panama City was Coronado. Coronado had beautiful beaches. When we were there, they were extremely hot. It was very windy. We looked at a condominium that was selling for $350,000. Jackie goes into how you buy property down there. It's quite different than what you would experience in the United States. So we did tour this location in Coronado, and it was fabulous. Then we went to a all-inclusive resort that night, and that beach was equally impressive. The resort was fantastic. The food was great. There were a couple weddings and parties there that went on that night that really gave us an indication of how much Panamanians love to party till the wee hours of the morning. So that was a different experience. The next day we drove further up the coast to an area around Santiago. Went to another small resort, very remote beach. Again, really hot. And I'm from Phoenix, so I know hot. And it was beautiful, but it was very isolated. And nobody on the beach except us. Every place we went to, the food was already ready. Jackie lets them know what time we're going to be there, so we arrived. There's no waiting to get your food. At this place, they had pina coladas lined up for us, treated us like kings and queens. Everything about that part of the trip was just going great. We then go farther up the west coast, and see another beach community. We met with a gentleman that I can't even remember the town, but he talked to us a lot about fishing, joined us for dinner, and the town was kind of cool. Again, very small, very isolated. Went to another beach. I think a lot of us in the group were not that impressed with the beach at this point. If you're expecting white sand and clear water, you're going to have to go to the other side of Panama or up to Costa Rica. So we were on our way to Boquete, and we've heard a lot about Boquete, and for me, I was thinking I was really going to find a beach community that I liked, and at this point I hadn't found one, and so I was feeling kind of down. And then we were pulling into Boquete, or coming up on a hill and looking down, and we could see this nice town down in the valley and the panoramic view above it. The whole energy of the bus just increased. Driving through the town, as Jackie's explaining what's in the town, we were all just, we got to where we were going to stay for the next 3 days, and the energy just exploded. Everybody's like, man, this place is beautiful, it's amazing. Pictures cannot do it justice. Boquete is absolutely beautiful. It's a long way from everything, so that's something you need to consider if you're going to live in Boquete. We stopped in a town called David, about 45 minutes from Boquete. So if you were to get there, you have to fly to Panama City, take a 45-minute flight to David, 40-minute flight, then a 45-minute drive up the hill to Boquete. It's an elevation about 3,400 feet. The weather when we were there was windy. There's a mist that blows in through the town, and ironically you don't really get wet because as soon as it hits you, the wind's blowing it off. It does mist up your glasses a little bit. Had fun at the Tuesday market. A lot of things to do there, a lot of things to see. 75 restaurants in the town. The food was amazing. I think we ate too much. I know I did. I put on, I think, 10 pounds on this trip. So it's more of a Mediterranean diet than it is, you know, I don't know, Mexican food. Didn't see any of that. Fish everywhere. Then we got to go on to a cooking class. A gentleman from Kansas City who owns several restaurants down there named Tim took us through how to cook, how to buy fish off a truck, how to recognize if it's fresh, how to buy fruits and vegetables, how to know if a pineapple is ripe, and then how to prepare the food. That was outstanding. What a great part of the tour that was. So I don't think that you're going to find anything like that if you try to tour by yourself. I highly recommend going on a tour like this. If you were to add up the money that it would cost you to take a tour like this, I'm sure that it would probably cost you less than what we paid to go on the tour. But you won't have this kind of knowledge, and that's what you pay for. So, I mean, you'll save some money, but somebody else is driving. Jackie is explaining everything about Panama, how to move there, how to get your visa, what type of visa to get, how to open a bank account, how to buy real estate, how to do an online business if you're looking for extra income. Everything about how to live in Panama is covered. You're not going to get that if you travel by yourself. So I hope this helps. It was a great tour for me. I really enjoyed it. Haven't made up my mind if I'm moving there yet or not, but that'll be another